यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with a paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and the entire your family members and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita. So we are just going the summary part of 11th chapter. So we began from the last session. In the last session we saw the Bhagavad Gita is a construction. The infrastructure of a temple has got a glory. In the same way, this is a kind of temple. The dome of the temple is the 11th chapter. So in order to get a proper appreciation for the 11th chapter, we have been prepared from chapter number 7. Because first 6 chapter, it deals about our Nija Swarupa, means our original Swarupa. The Satya and Mithya part were explained by Lord Krishna. When you are aware about your consciousness, then you are ready to accept the reality of the world. Because once you come to know that you are beyond death and birth, you are beyond all kinds of modifications which is taking place in the body, Sharira. From birth to death, we experience that changes, modifications with our system. Because the system is divided into two ways in our Vedanta. We call it physical system and the psychological system, which is known as subtle system. The subtle system, so the word psychological system also is not enough to understand it, because it involves so many things. Because this individual physical body alone brings limitation for me, but the subtle body is connected to all other creatures and other object, even the 5 elemental aspects. These things we have to understand. The first 6 chapter, though we understood well about our consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness which is experienced in the form of I. Is it that simple? That's all? No, it's not. That's all. That individual consciousness alone exists in every Sharira. Maybe it's human Sharira or animal Sharira, bird Sharira, or insect Shariras, or the beings which are underneath the sea, ocean. So they also have the consciousness. Not only that, from rock, etc., all the object, they also do have the consciousness. But that expression is not that much. Though they have the consciousness, we are not able to understand. It means what? We are not able to accept. The world is seen by us as an inert object, means jadam, jada vastu. For us, world is jadam. So 2 mistakes were committed by us. So one mistake was, we used to think this body is nothing but me. So every one of us, we used to think this body is nothing but of me. So I am aging year by year, day by day, minute by minute. I am becoming old. You know, that's what our understanding is. The first 6 chapter made us understand I am not aging. The body is undergoing the modifications. In the same way, from 7th chapter onwards up to the 10th chapter. So Bhagavan Krishna, he gives a kind of teaching in which the Bhagavan Swarupa is explained beautifully in 3 steps. Okay. The cause of the world is nothing but God. And what kind of cause he is? That's what we saw. There are causes which is known as material cause and intelligent cause. In Sanskrit we call it Upadana Karanam and Nimitta Karanam. So only these 2 causes is being understood by us. If anybody asks, any material in this world, it needs to have two causes. If you see a furniture, there must be a cause of material. That material remains as the object the wood has converted into a furniture. In between, there must be one more cause called carpenter. Without carpenter, the wood cannot be converted or it becomes as a furniture. Now, this material cause and this nimitta karana, which is known as intelligent cause, both here it is different. But when the world was created, we understand God as the creator. This world has been created. That is the first level of understanding of the God which was introduced in the 7th chapter. Then that first level of understanding is very easy to accept because world exists. Any object exists. There must be somebody who has converted or who has created it. There must be the person. That's what. So when you look around the buildings and the doors, windows, cars, and all the equipments, mobile and the clothes, so all of them, they are made, created through two kinds of causes. Now material cause which travels, the nimitta karana which doesn't travel. So nimitta karana is need not to be with the object. So when a pot maker makes the pot out of clay, the clay is the material cause, the pot maker and water, that wheel and stick, all of them are, nothing but nimitta karana, means intelligent cause. After pot is made, this pot maker need not to come with the pot itself. Whether he is alive or not, there was a pot maker. So he contributed his effort in the form of nimitta karana. In the same way, the world exists. Where is God? Whether he is alive or not, so there must be somebody, or there might have been somebody, or that might have been or must be. Where is he? The question comes when you understand, accept this reality. Therefore, people are not ready to accept it. The world has come Big Bang theory. Nobody is there because the potential power itself, it doesn't require anybody else. But a bhakta, a devotee of Bhagavad Gita, a devotee of Krishna will understand, for there are more level mightier to understand about the reality of Ishvara. If you travel through that, you won't get confused and you will be very clear about world and creation and the birth and death of yours. That's what the second level is known as. God has become a world. Or we can say that the God has created the world and he Anisyuta means he has penetrated in every object in the form of material cause. That also can be do. What I mean to say, that also can be accepted. But God has evolved the world. When you put little bit dahi, curd in the milk is converted into dahi, which is known as yogurt or curd. Now the curd is because of milk. Milk has fermented as the dahi or yogurt. In the same way, the God has evolved himself as in the universal form. Now forms and names are nothing but the God. So this understanding is known as second level of understanding. Traveling from the first level of understanding to second level of understanding, it requires lots of qualifications. The qualifications which is known as Divya Chakshu. That's what we saw. So in order to accept the reality of the world, I have to understand the God. It means the understanding about the world and understanding about the individual beings, everything includes in the understanding of the God. The second level understanding is the supreme understanding. Therefore, I gave the example of a temple. See, compound and all the praharas means all kinds of other deities around the temple. In the middle, there is going to be a sanctum sanctorum which is known as Garbhagraha. In that Garbhagraha, there is a dome above the Garbhagraha which is known as Vimana. That Vimana is the 11th chapter, and inside the Garbhagraha, the Murti, the deity, is nothing but the consciousness which exists in the form of Aham. That is to be understood. Bhagavad Gita is like the construction of the temple. It's a beautiful. The second level, it is explained well in the chapter of 7, 9 and 10. Even 7th chapter, he introduces Ekarupa Bhakti. When you accept God is the creator, God is sitting in Kailasha and Vaikunta, then you travel to the next level. God is not in Kailasha, God has become the world. Now both cause, nimitta means intelligent cause, and material cause is nothing but Ishvaraha. Abhinna nimitta upadana karana Ishvaraha. My God, God alone is in the form of the world. So when you hear it, your buddhi will, sometimes it may not have the capacity to accept. So after completion of 10th chapter, he has provided all kinds of evidence, So I am in the form of mountain, I am in the form of Samagana, I am in the form of Gayatri. So many examples were given by Lord Krishna. Still Arjuna's mind was stuck, he wanted to see it, he wanted to experience in the level of, experience. Though he was able to understand in the level of intellectual aspects, but he wanted to experience them. So when you are said the world is nothing but God, so you look around, nothing seems to be like God. It means what? You cannot blame the world. You have to change, you have to bring the change, that to attitudinal change. That attitudinal change comes with a special understanding. That special understanding means what? The special understanding which is introduced in the chapter number 10. God alone has been evolved. That understanding, I gave the example of Tirupati Laddu and Tendulkar's bat, Beethoven's piano. So you need to have a special understanding. If Laddu is provided to you, when the Laddu is informed, this Laddu is from Tirumala, then if you know the glory of Balaji, if you are aware of Balaji, then your attitude automatically takes in different form. That different attitude brings a different kind of response from you. That different response brings a different fruit in your life. You value that object. That value is because of what? Your attitudinal change. That attitudinal change is because of what? Understanding. That understanding what? That fact, realizing the fact, it needs long period of time, because in order to give that importance to that dead material which is known as a bat, you might have undergone so many years to understand, to experience Tendulkar's every match. Sometimes he could succeed, sometimes he was dug out. All these things you might have seen and experienced. Those all efforts, trained mind, those training helps you to generate the attitude to accept that bat is unique and special. In the same way, from the birth we have been living in this world alone, but having a normal attitude, normal perception, because of what? We are not informed the fact of the world. Now Krishna starts to give that. So this first 4 verses, this Arjuna asks the question. In the question itself he says that I understood the first 6 chapter, my dear Krishna. Now I'm also understanding about this, the second portion of Gita, but still I would like to experience that that Ishvaratvam, so that your glory I would like to experience. So do I deserve for that? He himself makes the question. Having understood, he knew means he knows thoroughly very well, he is not deserved enough, because it needs a special travel, special training of the mind. It doesn't come in one day or one night. It may not take place in 1 month. If at all, if it wants to take place, you should have some punya pala in the last past birth. So nothing was there with Arjuna, only one thing was there, that surrendering, the weapon which is known as surrendering. And now after these questions, Manyase edita chakyam maya drashtumiti prabho. If you think that is possible for me, please make me understand and experience about your glory. Then Bhagavan begins from verse number 5 up to verse number 8. Bhagavan talks about the glory, and Bhagavan gives the Divya Chakru. So Divya Chakru is nothing but what? Giving matured mind. As we saw in the last session, Divya Chakru means a different attitude with a different understanding. Now finally, what can be the meaning of Divya Chakru? Means the mind which is free from raga dvesha, which is free from ahankara and mamakara. The mind is to be trained for that. It won't come in a day. The mind, your mind is occupied with ahankara mamakara tvam. Ahankara means what? That the mind is endowed with the doership. I am the doer. So because of me, everything is going. Because whatever that I have been doing here, that's because of me. I made this house. I constructed this house. I bought the car because I constructed this house, it's mine. Because it is bought or constructed because of my effort, my money. The car is bought because of my money. So when I purchased the car, so at that time I selected the car. Therefore what? The car is mine. This ahankara and mamakara, mine and me and mind should be removed, or it should be understood. So nothing belongs to me. Everything is only belong to Ishvara. That acceptance. In order to get that appreciation, that acceptance, you need to grow. Your mind has to grow to be a matured one. It needs a long period of time. If you have a Guru's grace, Ishvara's grace, then it may be possible like Ramana, so who could set immediately, in one day with one effort he could settle himself in Samadhi. That too Vedantic Samadhi. It's a glory. It won't take place with all people. Therefore pray Lord Venkateshwara to get that kind of glory. So not to throw anything, because what is there to throw? When you understand nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to whom? That God alone. Because God alone is being evolved as the world. So my body and sense complex also his own creation. That acceptance. The mind which is free from ahankara and mamakara is known as Divya Chakruhu. That's what Bhagavan says. Natumam shakyate drashtum anena swachakrusha. Your mind is corrupted, Arjuna, with a corrupted mind, with the polluted mind, with the mind where it is occupied by raga and dvesha. Now you are filled with a hatred of Duryodhanas and desire and attachment towards Bhishma and Drona and Kripacharya, etc. people. Therefore your mind is corrupted, polluted. Through the emotional imbalance you are confused. This mind is not enough to see the Vishwarupa Darshana. Therefore I would give Divyam Chakruhu Te Dadami. I will give to you a proper Chakruhu, means matured mind, temporarily. So temporarily means, is it possible that temporarily one can be free from attachment and glory? You should remember who says it is nothing but Lord Ishvara Bhagavan Krishna. So in this place you should have at least a Shraddha. So when you have the construction, I already told the Shastra is a huge construction which only withstands by the Shraddha in the form of, which is in the form of foundation. So now, when Bhagavan gives the Divya Chakshu, the special eyes, which is nothing but kind of pure mind, the matured mind, a clear mind, a clear buddhi, then when he just looked around, he was stunned. So he is wonderstruck, speechless, actionless. Just he started blank. His mind went off, because when you understand that something which is not with a limited body and mind complex, so you become wonderstruck. That was the first response from Arjuna. We have also seen, so in this Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, when Bhagavan started showing the Vishwarupa, at that time this Arjuna's mind goes in three phases. So in which the first is known as he becomes wonderstruck, speechless. Then Sanjaya comes into the scene. The Bhagavan with thousands of crores of heads, crores of hands, crores of legs hanging, because he is not on the earth, just he could see in the skies. You imagine, because wherever you go, Vishwarupa, the form is made like that. All the head, all the legs, and these foreigners also criticize, your Bhagavan is having innumerable head. How he would take the breakfast? And when he walks, he needs a separate road. So one person asked, I didn't become angry. If a devotee of Lord Mahavishnu or devotee of any god will become anger, he will become angry, he will start shouting at him. But I didn't do anything. I said, yes, of course, the world is being created by him. He knows how to have breakfast. We need not to teach him. Then he said, what do you think? What do you say? I said, if you give 20 minutes for me, I will make you understand what Vishwarupa Darshana is. It's a kind of appreciation with acceptance. The heads, around you, the heads of yours and mine and people around us, and the heads of birds and all the beings, even the head of mosquito. So all the beings, they should have the head. All the head is nothing but Bhagavan's head. Sagasra Shirusha Purusha Sagasrakshas Sagasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatithadashangulam Purusha eva idagum sarvam ayam me bhagavan ayam me bhagavattaraha ayam me vishwabhesha joyagum shivabhimarshanaha in Shri Rudram. So beautifully said. The heads around, that the head means what? Always thinking. Now the thinking belongs to whom? Ishvara. Ishvara looks, Ishvara understands, Ishvara alone thinks, Ishvara alone creates everything. This was the first understanding. Aneka bhakranayanam, aneka adbhuta darshanam, aneka divyabharanam, divyanekodyatayudham. So beautiful. Sanjaya, when he narrated, because Sanjaya was not provided any special power by Bhagavan Krishna. No, Sanjaya was very matured soul. Though it is said Bhagavan Vyasa has provided him a Divya Chakshu, but Sanjaya means the person, one who has conquered the enemies called Ahankara and Mamakara. Therefore, that Sanjaya could explain, this Arjuna had become struck, stunned by seeing that, Aneka Divya Bharanam, all the ornaments, all the glories of the universe is nothing but Bhagavan. So from verse number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so up to the verse number 14, so the expression from Sanjaya. In this expression, from the individual level, from the standpoint of creation, from the standpoint of three aspects of the world. World contains what? It contains creation, sustentation, resolution. From all the standpoint, he explains, Bhagavan, how he appears. So this phase means that these verses, they contain only the positive side of Bhagavan. Then the Arjuna speaks, Arjuna becomes a little bit normal, okay. Then Arjuna begins, from verse number 15. So from 15 to 22. So he is able to express his that wonderness, that amazements, that that ashcharya bhavana, in which he says the same thing which was narrated by Sanjaya alone. Pashyami devanstava devadehe sarvanstatha bhuta vishesha sanghan brahmanamisham kamalasanastham rushinscha sarvanuragamscha divyana. So he is able to understand the expressions of Shastra and Upanishad and all the scriptures, because his buddhi was just connecting with what and all that he learned through the 4 chapters. He was able to connect now. He is a little bit controlled enough to think about it. So as he started enjoying every aspects of the world, because world is known as prapanchaha. Prapanchaha means what? Prapanchaha means Ishvara became prapanchaha in the 5 aspects of the world, like the gold. Now he has understood we need not to change the world, just we should bring the different attitude. That attitudinal change happens only because of Divya Chakruhu, which matured mind. That maturity comes through Shastra Jnanam. Then all the things being connected, the incidents, accidents, and the characters of the world, and every personality, Bhishma could remain as the Bhishma is because of the Krishna alone. He could see one of his head is it appears like a Bhishma. Now Bhishma is nothing but God. Drona is nothing but God. And these aspects, everything is nothing but God. This is the first. So now you could understand the head which things being in the world, everything is nothing but God. So this understanding brings potential joy and enjoyment. The mind will be filled with joyful mood, happiness, bliss. So it was wonder enough. Then when he looks the mouth of Lord Krishna, the scenery changes. There he could see the other side of God, that God which took place in the form of First and Second World War. All the natural disaster like a tsunami, earthquake, and volcano erection, so many deaths around us, what goes, the tragedies, he was not able to withstand it. He became, occupied with fear. So his body, mind, and sense complex were not able to manage with that proper, seeing that proper, the truth, fact of the universe. Because the universe has both the good side and bad side. They are not good and bad. That your mind thinks they are good and bad. When you see somebody has died, automatically the fear is generated in your sharira. That's what the second expressions, the response from Arjuna, which also we have. When we see Bhagavan with proper alankara, we becomes happy. When you see Bhadra Kali, that too Smasana Kali, the deity which exists in Smasana, means cremation ground, slightly in a corner, though you have the devotion towards her, in the corner your mind will be under fear. That's what the second phase faced by Arjuna. That we will continue from next session, because we have to understand, we have understood already. Now we have to give a proper infrastructure to get settled in our buddhi so that we could assimilate. As I told you, we are just going to assimilate by having a recap of everything that which we have studied. Now, by having the recap, the effort to assimilate not only the 11th chapter, assimilate 11 chapters together. It's a challenge. And we need not to get back because we are blessed with Lord Venkateshwara. Definitely, He will come with us and He will travel with us. Because of His blessings alone, we are able to continue now. We will see tomorrow. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.